For sisters Rita and Rose, losing their beloved father was heartbreaking, but their grief has turned to anger because they say the funeral home put their dad in a different coffin to the one they ordered. They want answers, so they called us.
Dad, we got the wrong people to do your funeral. We're really sorry.
Rita and Rose Valancisi feel like they've let their dad down.
That was my father, okay? How would you like it if it was your father?
Mike Valancisi worked on his farm until the night he died. He was 84, a passionate orchardist, the first man to supply a bag of oranges to the big supermarkets.
This man here was a beautiful man. He was kind, humble, and he was an extraordinary man. And he did not deserve to be treated like a dog.
When you lose a loved one, you trust a funeral home will help ease the burden, not add to your pain. But the Valancisi sisters say funeral directors here in Leeton made saying goodbye to their father even more difficult when they ignored the family's wishes and hoped nobody would notice.
We want to rest our father in peace, and I will stand up for justice.
It was mid-December when the Valancisis hired the town's only funeral directors to look after their dad's send-off.
When someone passes away, if the family requests certain things, they should be treated with respect and given what they ask for.
This was the coffin Rose and Rita specifically chose for their dad, a Denman's solid cedar, made by a manufacturer in Sydney.
We had a look around and then we seen one that looked solid and we said, yeah, right, we're happy with that. And Rose said, yeah, that's a nice roundish. The wood was roundish, it was thick. I even touched it and it felt like quality.
Instead, this was the coffin the company sourced from a manufacturer in Melbourne. It's made of the same cedar wood, costs about the same, but it's a different design.
I looked at that coffin, it made me sick because to me it looked like a kitchen cupboard.
No explanation, perhaps no consideration. It was against the grieving family's wishes.
Dad, do you think he's right to stick my father in a box that you chose, you mongrel dog? How would you like I'd done that to your father?
Following the funeral just over a month ago, a representative from Les Watkins and Son hand-delivered this letter to the family farm, which admits the coffin wasn't what they expected either.
How dare they come out to our farm and give us this? How dare they? When they know that they made a big mistake.
In it, a discounted invoice, but asking the full $3,500 for the coffin the family never wanted. Also included, an offer to remove their father's body from its tomb and replace the coffin to finally make good on their promised product.
The letter says, we'll pull your father out of his coffin and put him in the coffin that we were supposed to give you. You can wipe your ass with this letter. You're disgusting.
The funeral company says the family viewed the coffin twice before the funeral, but didn't raise any concerns.
I found out 1 hour before my dad's funeral that they stuck my dad in the wrong coffin.
And while the funeral home have tried to fix the situation, the Valancisis don't know what's worse, disrespecting their father's wishes or his remains.
When you choose a coffin, you'd hope that you'd be getting the coffin that you chose.
Sammy Jong from Choice says the family has been left in a tough predicament.
Funerals are pretty unique. It's not the same as other high-value purchases like a fridge or something like that. It's a time of grief and hardship, and it is really tricky when the burial has already happened.
The consumer watchdog says customers left with such an agonising decision should weigh up all of their options.
So under Australian consumer law, products have to match the description given by a salesperson. That means that if you've specified a specific coffin, then that's the one they're legally obliged to give you.
If you're in this sort of business, you've got to have a lot of compassion, and I don't really see that in them at all.
I wouldn't even bloody get used to bury my cat. That's how disgusting yous are.
Rita and Rose say they haven't ruled out legal action against the funeral home. The company's CEO says he's willing to continue to work with the family to meet their expectations.